Hi, welcome back to my channel Heron's HubSpot. So in the last video we have discussed about how to solve problems by using distributivity property, and as I told you those questions were very important, and now I am going to start this video by solving few more questions or at least one question by using distributivity. Then we will go for the remaining questions of first exercise. So we just started the first exercise, and we have been discussing about how to solve out problems by using distributivity property. And as I told you, now I am going to solve one more questions by using distributivity. Then we will go for the next and the remaining question in that exercise. Are you ready? And please watch the video well and learn each and every problem well. Do practice. Okay, so let us go for that. See, so now I am going to solve this question. So let us start this video session by solving this question. Your question is solved by using property. Your question is 3 by 4 into 2 by 5. 3 by 4 into 2 by 5 plus 1 by 7 into 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2 into 1 by 4. Are you following me? 3 by 4 into 2 by 5 plus 1 by 7 into 3 by 2 plus 3 by 2 into 1 by 4. Now we just see. Compare first. This is your first term, isn't it? This is your second term, and this is your third term. Now we just see first and second term. First term is 3 by 4 into 2 by 5. Second term is 1 by 7 into 3 by 2. Is there any common fraction? No. Is there any common fraction? No. Is there any common number? When I ask you is there any common, you have to think that is there any common fraction? No. There is not any common fraction. Now we just compare the second and third term. Is there any common fraction? Yes, there exists a common fraction, which is that 3 by 2. Are you following me? So what I have to do? So this term just write like that. 3 by 4 into 2 by 5 just write like that. And from these two terms, what you can take outside? You can take 3 by 2 outside. So what will remain? When you take 3 by 2 outside, what will remain? If you take 3 by 2 outside from this term, what will remain? 1 by 7 will remain. Are you following me? If you take 3 by 2 outside from this term, what will remain? 1 by 4. And you have to write this plus in between that. Are you following me? Yes. I think it is very clear. Now just see. First term is as it is 3 by 4 into 2 by 5, and we found that from in these two terms one common fraction is exist, which is that 3 by 2. So keep 3 by 2 to stand outside, and if you take 3 by 2 from this term, what will remain? 1 by 7 will remain, just like that. Then this plus as it is. If you take 3 by 2 outside from this term, what will remain? 1 by 4, just write as it is. Now we just see it becomes now, and first term, you just see the first term. Is there any cancellation possible? Yes, since it is multiplication, we can go for cross cancellation. So can you cancel this 2 and 4? Yes, of course. Can you cancel 3 and 5? No. Why? Because there is no common factor for 3 and 5. But can you cancel 2 and 4? Yes, of course. Is there any common factor for 2 and 4? Yes, exists, which is that 2. So in 2, how many 2? 1. In 4, how many 2? 2. You may understand. In 2, how many 2? 1. In 4, how many 2? 2. So we got that. Now can you calculate the result? Since it is multiplication, how to multiply two fraction? Just multiply the denominator, just multiply the just multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. When you multiply the numerator, it becomes 3 into 1. What is that? 3 divided by 2 into 5 is nothing but 10. 3 into 1 is 3, 2 into 5 is 10. You may understood. 3 into 1 is 3 and 2 into 5 is 10. Plus 3 by 2. Okay. Then in bracket 1 by 7 plus 1 by 4. Can you calculate that? How we can calculate? You can use LCM method, otherwise cross multiplication. For the time being, let me use cross multiplication. When you cross multiply, what we will get? 1 into 4 is 4. Then this sign as it is. 7 into 1 is 7. Divide by 7 into 4 is 28. You may understood, isn't it? So it becomes 3 by 10 plus 3 by 2. This bracket you can change into multiplication sign. You know, if there is no sign in between, that means there exists multiplication. Then what is 4 plus 7? 4 plus 11 is nothing but 11. 4 plus 7 is nothing but 11. Divide by 28. Are you following me? Yes, of course. And now it becomes 3 by 10 plus. Now how we can do this? Is there any cancellation possible? 3 and 28 will not get cancelled, 2 and 11 will not get cancelled, so in numerator and denominator will not get cancelled. Here also numerator and denominator will not get cancelled, so nothing we can do here. Cancellation is not possible, so just multiply the numerator directly, just multiply the denominator directly. When you multiply the numerator, 3 into 11 is 33, and what is 2 into 28? 2 into 28 is nothing but 56. You may understood. Okay, then what we can do here? If you want, you can use LCM method. At that time you have to calculate the LCM of 10 and 56. Otherwise again cross multiplication. That means 3 into 56. You have to calculate the result. I am leaving that for you. 3 into 56, just calculate. Then this sign plus 10 into 33, just calculate. Keep it there. So 3 into 56 you can write here, plus 10 into 33 you can write here, divide by 10 into 56. 10 into 56 is nothing but 560. And calculate the answer. That will be the final answer. Okay. In that way you have to go on. Now let us try to solve this. This type of a question. Find 1 by 2 into 3 by 4 plus 7 by 2 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 4. Find 1 by 2 into 3 by 4 plus 7 by 2 minus 3 by 5 into 1 by 4. See, you just compare the terms. This is your first term, this is your second term, and this is your third term. See, compare the three terms, first term, second term, and third term. And is there any common? Can you select any two terms such that two terms shares a common fraction? Compare the first and second term. Is there any common? No. This is your first term, this is your second term. There is no common fraction. In the last few problems we got the common fraction very easily. And now you just compare the first term and the last term. Is there any common fraction? No. At the first look there may be no common fraction. You may understood. See, it is 1 by 2 into 3 by 4. It is 3 by 5 into 1 by 4. Is there any common fraction? At first look there may not be any common fraction. Now we just compare these two terms. You have to compare first and second term. No common fraction. Now we just compare the first and the third term. No common fraction. Now we just compare the second and the third term. Is there any common fraction? No. At first look there may not be any common fraction. So that doesn't mean this question is wrong. So I'm going to you can expect this type of a question also. That means this is a tricky question. I'm going to write one more step, then it will be clear for you. That means the first term as it is 1 by 2 into 3 by 4. This is your first term, plus 7 by 2 as it is, minus. See, if you find any common fraction, then no problem. You can take that two terms together, then take the common fraction outside, and you can follow the steps. You can proceed the steps. Okay, but since there is no common fraction, I am going for a tricky attempt. That means first term as it is, second term as it is, then minus as it is, 3 by 5 into 1 by 4. No, so I am going to write this 3 as it is. Okay, 3 is in the numerator part, and which is the denominator of that 5. Instead of 5 I am going to write 4. That is possible in maths. You know why? Because see, A by B into C by D. Also you can write it as A in the numerator part, no? So A as it is. Divide by, instead of B, I am going to write D. Into this C as it is. Divide by this D I already mentioned here. Then I am going to write B here. Now we just see. Here A and C are in numerator. Here also see. A and C are in numerator. Here B and D are in denominator. Here also just see, B and D are in denominator itself, but order is a little bit changed. So no problem in maths. In maths it is possible when I repeat the question, when, if the operation is multiplication. Are you following me? You can change the numerator, you can change the denominator when, if the operation is multiplication. See, here the operation is multiplication. So you can change the numerator and change the denominator. You can change the numerator, you can change the denominator. But you are not supposed to write numerator here. You cannot change a numerator and denominator. If you want, you can change numerator in between. If you want, you can change denominator in between. But you are not supposed to change numerator and denominator in this way. That means you cannot write A here. you cannot write d here. That means you are not supposed to take this a from numerator to denominator. You are not supposed to take anything from denominator to numerator. That means if you want, if the operation is multiplication, I repeat, if the operation is multiplication, then you can change the numerator in between, you can change the denominator in between. That much only you may understood. Are you following me? Okay. Let me tell you one thing, if the operation is addition or subtraction, we cannot do like this. No. So A is there only, B is there only, C is there only, D is there only. If the operation is plus or minus, you cannot take in this way. You cannot do in this way. Since the operation is multiplication, you can change numerator in between, you can change denominator in between as you wish. Okay. So I'm going to apply that property here. That means what I'm going to do here, it is 3 by 5, no? So 3 is in numerator part as it is. Instead of 5, I'm going to write 4 here. Then into this 1 as it is. This 4 already I mentioned here. Then this 5 I have to mention here. Now we just see here 3 and 1 is in numerator. 3 and 1 is in numerator. And 5 and this 4 is actually in denominator. Here 5 is in denominator, 4 is in denominator. I just changed the order. I can do like this. Why? Because the operation is multiplication. You may understood. And you can ask me why, sir, we are doing like this. You will get understood now. Now you just compare all the terms. You will get understood why I did like this. See, compare the first and this is your first term, no? This is your second term, no? This is your third term, no? You just compare the first and last term. Is there any common fraction now? It is 1 by 2 into 3 by 4. It is 3 by 4 into 1 by 5. So which is common? Yes, of course, 3 by 4 came as common fraction. Now what will be the next step? And this is the advantage of writing like this. You may understood. So at first look, there may be no common fraction. If you rewrite in this way, there may exist a common fraction. Then what will be the next step? As always, you have to write that two terms together. Which all terms you have to write together? And which all terms sharing a common fraction? That terms you have to write together. This term. First term as it is. Then instead of 7 by 2, you have to write this term. Because first term and the last term is sharing a common fraction. That means this term as it is and the last term you have to write together with that. So 3 by 4 into 1 by 5 with the sign minus. That means minus 3 by 4 into 1 by 5. And at last you can write this number, what is that? 7 by 2. With the sign it is plus. See? Plus. Okay. Now we just see this is your first term and this is your last term. This is your second term now and 7 by 2 as it is. Now we just compare the both term. Is there any common fraction? Yes, of course. We know that. We understood that that is 3 by 4. Just take 3 by 4 outside. Stand outside. What will remain here? Here 1 by 2 will remain. When you take 3 by 4 outside from this term, here what will remain? 1 by 5. 1 by 5. What is the sign here? Minus. I told you when you take 3 by 4 outside, you just do like this. See. You are going to take 3 by 4 outside. So you just hide that 3 by 4. What will remain? 1 by 2 as it is. And when you take 3 by 4 from this term, hide that. What will remain? 1 by 5 will remain. And a minus also will remain there. That means you have to write what? You have to write what? Minus 1 by 5. Don't forget. See, you are not supposed to write into here. You are supposed to write this sign here. Are you following me? Many students are writing into multiplication sign here. You are not supposed to do that. You are supposed to write the same sign here. Okay. Plus 7 by 2 as it is. You may understand. See. Okay. Now just see the very next step. The remaining thing is very simple. And under the square root, what we can do? Sorry, I'm not inside the bracket. What we can do? Sorry, under the square root. The square root is here actually I supposed to say bracket. Okay. So 3 by 4 into here inside the bracket what we have to do? 1 by 2 minus 1 by 5. So since it is subtraction, we can use LCM or cross multiplication as your wish. Let me use cross multiplication now. So what is 1 into 5? 5 and this minus as it is. What is 2 into 1? 2 divided by what is 2 into 5? 10. You may understood. Plus 7 by 2 as it is. Just cross multiplication. 1 into 5 is 5. This minus as it is 2 into 1 is 2. Divided by 2 into 5 is 10. You may understood, isn't it? Now just see. It become 3 by 4 into 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 by 10 plus 7 by 2. You may understood. Okay. Now we just see, is there any cancellation possible here? 3 and 4 there is no common factor. 3 and 10 there is no common factor. 3 and 4 there is no common factor. 3 and 10 there is no common factor. So in short, we cannot cancel anything here. So just multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator, because the operation is multiplication. 3 into 3 is 9. 4 into 10 is 40 plus 7 by 2. Are you following me? And now I am going, if you want, this is a fraction, this is a fraction, how to add two fraction? You can use LCM or cross multiplication as your wish. This time let me use LCM. And this is 40, you know. Can you make this 2 as 40? Yes, of course you can make 2. Very simple. You know how to make this 2 as 40. By which number I should multiply with this 2 to make it as 40? Just multiply it with 20. Why? Because 2 into 20 we will get 40. That's why. To make the denominator same, I am doing like this. Okay, I used to multiply here with 20. Since I am multiplying in the denominator by 20, I supposed to multiply in the numerator also by 20. Now we just see the magic. Now just see, then it become 9 by 40 plus what is 7 into 20. 7 into 20 is 140 by 2 into 20 is 40. The denominator becomes same. How to add two fraction with the denominator same? Just write the denominator as it is, add the numerator. 9 plus 140 is 149. The answer is 149 by 40. Okay. See, you may understood how to solve problems by using distributivity well, because we have been solving, see, in the last few days we used complete time by solving that kind of question. So you may understood it well in deep, isn't it? Now let me go to the next question in that exercise, and let me tell you one thing. I cannot solve all the question for you, but I will not leave in difficult question or important question. I will solve all difficult and important questions, but still I will leave some easy questions for you. Okay, once you understood the method, you can easily solve that question, that kind of question. In short, the questions which I am leaving, you must do it as homework. I cannot say you have to do this question as homework, this question as homework. I will not say like this. And you can mark the questions which I am solving through this video session, and the remaining, which all question I am leaving, you must do as an activity after watching the video. Are you following me? And next question is, which is the additive inverse of additive inverse of 19 by minus 6? Which is the additive inverse of 19 by minus 6? And this is from your question number 2. And I am sharing in question number 2, few sub questions are there. I am going to solve only one sub question from that, and all the remaining sub question you have to do it as homework from question number 2. You may understood. And here the question is, which is the additive inverse of 19 by minus 6? Can you tell me which is the additive inverse of minus 2? Which is the additive inverse of minus 2? Of course that is 2. Just avoid this minus. And which is the additive inverse of 2? Just add minus. Answer will be minus 2. That means, which is the additive inverse of 4? Minus 4. Which is the additive inverse of minus 4? 4. Then what is the additive inverse of 19 by minus 6? Just avoid that minus and write 19 by 6. You may understood. So answer will be, additive inverse of 19 by minus 6 is nothing but 19 by 6. Suppose the question is, which is the additive inverse of 19 by 6? Then what will be the answer? What is the additive inverse of 19 by 6? Since there is no minus, just add minus and write minus 19 by 6. If there exists any minus, in order to calculate the additive inverse, just avoid that minus. That is the way of calculating additive inverse. We already discussed. Okay, and this is your answer. Okay, and now I am going to solve question number 3. Verify minus of minus x is equal to plus x. And it is very trivial for us. See, when both minus come together, it will be plus. So when minus of minus x, it will be plus x. It is trivial for us. Both minus will be plus. Answer will be plus x. You may understood. Minus of minus x is nothing but x. Why? Because both minus will be, when both minus come together, it will be plus. Answer will be plus x. Since the sign is plus, they are not writing that much only. So the result is very trivial for us, but we have to show that, we have to verify this by using some example. X is equal to minus 13 by 7, you have to substitute, and I am going to select another question, x is equal to 2 by 3. In your textbook, for question number 3, 2 sub question is there. One sub question is this, and another is another sub question. You have to try it as activity, and I am selecting this is another question. It is not included in any one of the sub question. This is one sub question, and the next is for homework, and this I am selecting some another question. Okay, now just see, you have to verify that. What is the meaning of the question? You have to verify that minus of minus x is equal to x. നമുക്കറിയാം minus of minus x x ആണെന്ന്. ഇനി നമ്മൾ എന്ത് ചെയ്യണം? അതൊന്ന് ജസ്റ്റ് വെരിഫൈ ചെയ്ത് കാണിക്കണം ഈ എക്സാമ്പിളിലൂടെ. എങ്ങനെ വെരിഫൈ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഞാൻ മനസ്സിലാക്കി തരാം നിങ്ങൾക്ക്. നിങ്ങൾ ആദ്യം മൈനസ് ഓഫ് മൈനസ് എക്സ് കണ്ടുപിടിക്കുക. എന്ത്? മൈനസ് ഓഫ് മൈനസ് എക്സ്. അതായത് യു can consider it as an equation, and this is the LHS or left hand side of the equation, and this is the RHS or right hand side of the equation. So you just take this LHS part, minus of minus x as it is, and you just take the RHS part, which is RHS part x. Okay, otherwise if you are feeling difficulty with this LHS and RHS, leave that. You just take the left side of the equation. This is an equation, you just take the left side of the equation. Which is the left side of equation? Minus of minus x. Just write that here. And which is the right side? X. Just write that here. Okay, see, and calculate minus of minus x. How we can calculate minus of minus x? Just write this minus first, then give bracket, then this minus as it is without any change, and instead of this x you can take this value. Instead of this x you can take this value. Why? Because see, this is x no, and this is also x no. Which is the x value given? Minus 13 by 7. So instead of this x you can write that value minus 13 by 17, and you can close the bracket. Once again I am going to calculate minus of minus x, so I have to write minus. See, minus, then I have to give this bracket. See, bracket, then I have to represent this minus no, that is this minus, then I have to write x no. What is x? X itself it is minus 13 by 17, so x is minus 13 by 17. You may understand. Now you just see what will be the answer. This minus as it is, you may understand. And inside the bracket what will come? When both minus comes together, answer will be plus. So that is plus 13 by 17 or symbol 13 by 17. Okay, so what is the answer? What is minus of 13 by 17? Answer will be minus 13 by 17. Enough. And now, sorry, so we got the value of minus x, no? Minus of minus x we calculate, no? And which is the right hand side of equation? X equal to, what is x? X is given as what? Minus 13 by 17. See, minus 13 by 17. Now we just compare LHS side or left side of the equation and right side of the equation. This is left side of the equation, minus of minus x, and this is right side of the equation. Compare minus of minus x and x here. Here you have to make the comparison. When you calculate minus of minus x, we got minus 13 by 17, and x is nothing but minus 13 by 17. That means minus of minus x is minus 13 by 17, and x is also minus 13 by 17. That means both values are equal, no? That means minus of minus x and x are equal. So this is the way of doing, and you may not understood. I am ready to explain by using another example. Okay, what I have to show? I have to show that minus of minus x is equal to x. So how we can show? Just take this LHS part. What is that? Minus of minus x. Find it out. Okay, let us find it out first, and after finding that we have to calculate x also. This minus of minus x is, see, this minus of minus x, this minus of minus x came from the left hand side, and this x came from the right hand side. Okay, and now we just see minus of this minus as it is inside the bracket. See, bracket, then this minus, see that minus, and x I have to write. What is x here? X, it is given that 2 by 3, so just write that 2 by 3. And what is the result now? When both minus come together, it will be plus, so answer will be 2 by 3, plus 2 by 3. And what is x? x is nothing but 2 by 3. Just write here and compare both value. Both values are same, no? That means minus of minus x and x are equal, no? So it is verified. Minus of minus x and x are equal. Verified. Enough. Very simple. So no need to give much importance to this problem. This is very simple problem. Don't get confused. Okay. See, once again I am explaining for your better understanding. So what I did is I have to verify minus of minus x is equal to x or not. I have to verify that minus of minus x is equal to x or not. So what I have to do, just calculate the left hand side separately, calculate the right hand side separately and compare the values. That much only. See, I calculate the left hand side, I calculate the right hand side, and when I made comparison both are equal. See here also. See, this is your question number 4 from exercise, and from question number 4 you can see some sub question. In that sub question I selected few sub question from the directly from the textbook, and I included some extra sub questions. Okay, and I left some sub question for you as homework. You have to do it as homework. So I mean, this is your question number 4. I think in question number 4 I am going to solve few sub questions. That doesn't mean this sub question all are from the textbook. I selected few questions from the textbook and I selected few other questions from other than textbook, and I am leaving some sub question in the textbook from question number 4 for you. Just do it as an activity. Okay, after doing the activity you must come back with the back side of your answer. And why I am doing this question, see, I am explaining this question for you and you can make it as a model. Okay, and do that question. After writing this question in your notebook only, you can go for that homework questions. Anyway, what all the things I am writing in the whiteboard, you have to write the same thing in the notebook. Only after that you can do your own activity. Do not skip anything. Okay, listen. It is a question. Find the multiplicative inverse of first question, minus 13. This time you have to calculate the multiplicative inverse of. Do not get confused between additive inverse and multiplicative inverse. Additive inverse and multiplicative inverse are both are different. What is the additive inverse of 2? Minus 2. What is the additive inverse of minus 2? 2. Enough. So additive inverse is over. But multiplicative inverse is much different from additive inverse. So here I have to calculate multiplicative inverse. So forget about this. So let me explain that. I know that I already explained this. You can consider it as a revision. That means those who forgot that multiplicative inverse, this will help you. What is the multiplicative inverse of 2? What is the multiplicative inverse of 2? How we can calculate the multiplicative inverse? Let me consider what is the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3. Just take the reciprocal. Answer will be 3 by 2. Multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3 is nothing but 3 by 2. Reciprocal will give you the multiplicative inverse. You know what is the meaning of multiplicative inverse? When you multiply this number with the multiplicative inverse, answer will be 1. That is what is multiplicative inverse. That means, what is the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3? Answer is 3 by 2. No, just multiply 2 by 3 and 3 by 2. Try to multiply 2 by 3 with its multiplicative inverse. Try to multiply 2 by 3 with its multiplicative inverse. That is 3 by 2. No, when you multiply, what will happen? 2 and 2 will get cancelled. 1 will come here. 3 and 3 will get cancelled. 1 will come here. Answer will be 1 into 1 is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. 1 by 1. Answer is 1. No, 1 by 1 is nothing but what? 1. No, that means when you multiply a number with its multiplicative inverse, we will get the result as 1. That's why it is known as multiplicative inverse. You may understood. Okay, sure though. Now you just see, multiplicative inverse of 2 by 3 is nothing but 3 by 2. You may understood. Then can you tell me the multiplicative inverse of 8 by 3? Answer will be 3 by 8. Then can you tell me the multiplicative inverse of minus 8 by 3? Answer will be 3 by minus 8. No? And this minus, if you want, you can write in the denominator, numerator as you wish. And so a rule is there. If there any minus comes in the denominator, you have to mention it as in the numerator side. 3 by minus 8, you can write it as minus 3 by 8. A type of rule is there. Okay. And What is a multiplicative inverse of, what is the multiplicative inverse of 2? What is the multiplicative inverse of 2? So multiplicative inverse of 2 is the question. I am going to rewrite the question as multiplicative inverse of 2. Instead of 2, I am going to write 2 by 1. Can you express 2 as 2 by 1? Of course, any number you can give the denominator 1. Now we just calculate the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 1. What is the result? 1 by 2. Why I given the denominator as 1? Because when there is denominator 1, it is, when there is some anything in denominator side, then we can easily take the reciprocal. That's why I given 1 as the denominator. Since if there is no denominator, you can write 1 as the denominator, then you can take the reciprocal. Now what is the multiplicative inverse of 2 by 1? The question was multiplicative inverse of 2. I written the question as 2 by 1 because 2 by 1 is nothing but 2. Then now the multiplicative inverse of 2, we can write it as multiplicative inverse of 2 by 1. That is nothing but 1 by 2. You may understood. Okay. Now let us go to solve that question. First question is, what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 13? That means our question is, which is the multiplicative inverse of minus 13? I told you, if there is no denominator, you can represent the denominator as 1, isn't it? Now multiplicative inverse of minus 13 become multiplicative inverse of minus 13 by 1. What is the answer? Reciprocal, 1 by minus 13. I told you, if denominator is containing a negative sign, you can take that negative sign and give it to numerator. So answer will be minus 1 by 13. So this is the multiplicative inverse of minus 13. And which is the next question? What is the multiplicative inverse of minus 13 by 19? It's very simple, no? Take the reciprocal. 19 by minus 13 will give you the answer. If there is minus is there in the denominator, you can give the minus into numerator, as I told you. So I am leaving this question for you. And now I am focusing in this question. Okay, what is the question? Which is the multiplicative inverse of, what is that? Minus 1 by 2 into minus 5 by 3. See, this question is not simplified question like 1 by 2 or 2 by 3. So what I have to do is, I have to simplify it first. That means question is multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 2 into minus 5 by 3. I am rewriting the question as, because I have to simplify the question first. That means multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 2 into minus 5 by 3, I am going to simplify as multiplicative inverse of, what is minus 1 by 2 into minus 5 by 3? I am going to calculate that first. How we can calculate? Since it is multiplication, is there any cancellation possible? No cross cancellation possible? No, because there is no common factor. So what we can do, just multiply the numerator, multiply the denominator. What is minus 1 into minus 5? Minus 1 into minus 5 is, what is 1 into 5? 5, you know. Then minus will be plus. So answer will be plus 5. You know how to multiply two negative number. When you multiply two negative number, answer will be positive. Just multiply the number, that much only. And 2 into 3 is 6. That means the question was multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 2 into minus 5 by 3. I simplified the question as multiplicative inverse of 5 by 6. Because when I operate this, I got 5 by 6. You may understood. Okay. Now, what is the multiplicative inverse of 5 by 6? Answer will be 6 by 5. So in short, the multiplicative inverse of this question is 6 by 5. You may understood. Okay. So now let us move to the next question. Now this is your question, which is the multiplicative inverse of 2 into minus 2 by 3. So I know I told you these questions are not, some of these questions are not included in your textbook. These are not in text question. I selected only 2 questions from the in text, but still you have to mention this question in your notebook. That is compulsory. And now I am going to solve which is the multiplicative inverse of 2 into minus 2 by 3. So I have to calculate that. Calculate multiplicative inverse of 2 into minus 2 by 3. See, listen. My question is multiplicative inverse of 2 into minus 2 by 3. So as I told you, this question is not simplified. If suppose the question is some 2 by 3, just take the reciprocal 3 by 2 enough. But this question is not simplified as 2 by 3 and all. So I have to simplify it first. How we can simplify? So I am going to rewrite the question as multiplicative inverse of, how we can calculate 2 into minus 2 by 3. If you feel any difficult, you just write 2 as 2 by 1. Is there any problem? If there is no denominator, you can give the denominator 1, no? Isn't it? Now how we can multiply? How we can multiply two fraction? First of all, you can check whether there is any simplification or possible. No more simplification is possible here. So what we can do, just multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. So what is 2 into minus 2? Minus 4. What is 1 into 3? 3. So the question was multiplicative inverse of minus 2. Sorry, 2 into minus 2 by 3. So I am rewritten the question as multiplicative inverse of minus 4 by 3. So what is the multiplicative inverse of minus 4 by 3? Answer will be 3 by minus 4. Since negative is in the denominator, you can change the negative from denominator to numerator. So it becomes minus 3 by 4. So answer is minus 3 by 4. So what I did, I simplified the question. For simplification, since there exists no denominator, just write the denominator 1 and you can multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator because the operation is multiplication. I did like that. I know that when you multiply a positive and negative number, answer will be negative. That's why the answer become minus 4 by 3. And how to take the multiplicative inverse? No, multiplicative inverse is nothing but the reciprocal. Take the reciprocal, and since the minus is exist in the denominator, just convert into numerator side. The answer will be minus 3 by 4. You may understood. Okay. Now the last question is which is the multiplicative inverse of minus 1? Which is the multiplicative inverse of minus 1? Which is a multiplicative inverse of minus 1? See, the question is multiplicative inverse of minus 1. Can I write the question as multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 1? Since there is no denominator, why I am giving if there is no denominator, what is the need of giving denominator as 1? Because then it is very easy to take the reciprocal, no? When there is numerator and denominator, it is very easy to take the reciprocal. Isn't it? Suppose 1 by 2, which is the reciprocal of 1 by 2? 2 by 1. It is very easy, no? If the numerator and denominator exist, it is very easy to take the reciprocal. That's why if there is no denominator, I am giving the denominator as 1. So the question was multiplicative inverse of minus 1. I changed the question as multiplicative inverse of minus 1 by 1. Then what is the multiplicative inverse? Just take the reciprocal. When you take the reciprocal, this denominator 1 you have to write in the numerator, and this numerator minus 1 you have to write in the denominator. So now the minus is included in the denominator side, just convert into numerator side. So answer will become minus 1 by 1. What is minus 1 by 1? Minus 1. What is 1 by 1? 1, no? And just give a minus. So answer will be what? Minus 1. You may understood. Listen. What is minus 6 by 2? Minus 6 by 2 is very simple. Just what is 6 by 2? 3, no? So answer will be minus 3. Just like that, minus 1 by 1. What is 1 by 1? 1. Just give a minus 1. In short, multiplicative inverse of minus 1 is nothing but minus 1 itself. That is the specialty of 1 and minus 1. Multiplicative inverse will be same of that of the number. Okay. See, as you know, this darkness is spreading everywhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind up this session. I think we discussed a few important things through this video session. And one thing is just since we were discussing distributivity, how to solve problems by using distributivity, that's why we took some time. Okay, that means next video session onwards we will go some fast, because distributivity was a very important section. That's why I used that much time on that. Okay, now these kinds of problems are very simple problem, then we will run fast and take the things in a very serious way, and only after watching the video, only after solving problem, practicing problem twice or thrice, then only you can go for writing notes. See, let me tell you one thing, you have to include everything in your notebook. So let me wind up this session and have a nice day. Take care, stay safe, bye.